Okay, go ahead.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It is February 4th, 2020. We will call the Wright County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. We'll begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you all for being here. Before we get to the minutes, I just want to make a few comments. The last time I was board chair, I shared some of my goals that I wanted to, hopefully have the board implement. And one was the advisory board updates, and that was something that we're able to do right away. The other thing was lean training, and a lot of our departments have gone through the Kaizen events to increase their efficiencies. And another one was to have regular workshops outside of our regular board meetings, and we finally were able to implement that last year, and I think that works really well, so we can delve more deeply into some of the issues. Well, now we're in 2020, and I think 2020 continues to, it means really, I think, clear vision. I believe that the county board has been very visionary the last few years. We've made a lot of decisions, some really tough decisions that have moved the county forward to increase efficiency, deliver better customer service. And in 2020, I want to continue to be visionary. We're looking at doing strategic planning with our cities and our townships. We'll continue to do budget forecasting. We're working on keeping our tax rate more level so we don't have the fluctuations that we've had in the past that have been difficult to deal with. We've got the Justice Center and the Tactical Training Centers opening this summer. It's going to take a lot of planning and just plain old hard work to make the moves from, here to the Justice Center, all the departments that will be moving, the courts, it will be a big deal. But I think if we continue to work as hard as we've been working together these last years, it's going to be a good year. I'm excited about being in 2020, even though it took me until February to mention that. But anyway, the weeks have gone really fast. So anyway, thank you, everyone, and we'll just keep moving forward. So with that, we will take a look at the minutes. Does anyone have any corrections?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the January 28th minutes.
Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Betch, seconded by Commissioner Lyden. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. The review and approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions we need to make on the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Lyden, seconded by Commissioner Potter. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. The consent agenda would,
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with item F1A removed for a short discussion, couple questions.
you'd like F1A removed?
Yes. Just for a quick question.
All right.
Second.
Motion made by
I'll
Commissioner
second.
Burrell to remove item F8, seconded by Commissioner Delyden. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Commissioner Burrell.
Bob, can you talk to this position? Maybe Lee can, okay. It's just, I think, as a commissioner that has about half of the ditches in my district, and then something like this comes on the board, I probably should have been talked to before it comes, but maybe you can...
Fair enough. Yes, that's good feedback. As you know, that position is approved for the 2020 budget. We simply put it on because we have some logistical things we need to work out, where the position is going to be housed, what kind of space we need to make for it.
This is the position we talked about then
Yes.
with the Parks Department and whatever.
That is
Okay.
correct, yes.
Got it.
So-
I just didn't know. And
I apologize for not touching base with you. That's
no,
on me.
not a problem. Okay, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion, we approve item F8.
All right, motion
I'll
made by
second it.
Commissioner Burrell, seconded by Commissioner Delyden. Any
And-
more discussion?
My bad, I probably could have read in there too.
And I think the reason that's on the workshop is because it needs to have quite a bit of discussion.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
That's why I think it's on there.
Sounds good.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right. For about the first time ever, we have no timed items on our agenda today. So we'll go right into our Committee of the Whole minutes. And I've asked Administrator Kelly if he would go through those.
All right, Committee of the Whole was held on the 28th. All four commissioners were there. Commissioner Potter was in the cities working on transportations issues with our highway engineer Hawkins. We were visited by Senator Anderson, Representative Lucero, and Representative O'Neill. We had representatives from several of our county departments, county attorney, health and human services, administration. In addition, we had Shane Zart from Flaherty and Hood joined us, as well as Karen Kleinens, who's the CEO of Community Dental Care. So the purpose of the meeting is we were meeting with our legislators about our 2020 legislative priorities. The first of the three main topics we discussed was regarding valuation and taxation of utility properties, as well as those that are state assessed properties. We've had some successes in the last year in getting better notifications on what's happening to those properties. We're not anticipating much action per se in the 2020 session, but it is an issue that we continue to monitor. A unique one for this upcoming year is we are hoping to get some bonding support for dental health care. We're looking at creating a dental care clinic using bonding funds to assist those folks that are on medical assistance. Currently, there's very few locations that provide dental services that take medical assistance. So this would be utilizing some shelved space in our new government center that will open in 2021. So we looked and got some good information from Ms. Kleinens about how we will work with this, and good discussion took place with our representatives and senator about how we can work through that bonding process. So currently, we're working on making this as, I'll put in quote, shovel-ready as possible, seeing as the building is already being built, but there are specific requirements that need to be put in place relative to the bonding. Third item discussed was public waters and public drainage repair statutes. We provided some language regarding Minnesota statutes 103E and 103G, hoping to clarify the relationship of drainage repairs and public waters work permit requirements. As our authority, as the ditch authority for the county, we thought it would be good to have some proposed language for that. So there will be some follow-up work. Mr. Kreiser from the County Attorney's Office spoke to this and has been working with John Kolb of Rinke Noonan on drafting some of this language. So additional items talked about were health and human services. We received several updates on numerous topics that are impacting them, which many of were carryovers from previous years. Again, we talked about min choices, some of the things that we're required to carry out as counties, and the fundings for that. As a very high overview. We also listed a few transportation issues. The biggest of those was, the most discussion we had was about driver's tests and road tests. We understand there's a shortage of testing location, and it's creating delays in getting people able to get their tests completed in a timely manner, which can lead to the inability to get a job in a timely manner. So we were looking at potentially pursuing some changes in the system where the county may be able to administer tests in the future. So language was being drafted regarding that. I did talk a little bit about transportation funding as well, and the gas tax and different ways to fund that. Sales tax, gas tax, different ways to get money for roads. Also talked a bit about road restrictions and a issue that Representative Lucero raised regarding the septic industry and septic haulers being exempt. So that was an interesting discussion we had as well. So,
Things you don't know until we find out.
exactly. I think just kind of in summary off the minutes, I think it was a very good discussion we had this year. Very interactive, which I really appreciated, and thank you to those three individuals that made it. So no recommendations came out of the meeting. A quick summary.
All right, is there a motion to approve the
I'll
minutes?
second.
Motion made by Commissioner Delight, seconded by Commissioner Vetch. Any more discussion? Yeah, I would just add that I thought it was we had a great meeting, and they were very open to what we had to say and our concerns, and to look into that. And the testing, drivers testing, with people going all over the state because they can't get in locally is a real concern. So it's good to make them even more aware of that than they were. So appreciate that.
And Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank Commissioner Burrell for bringing up the national average of the gas tax. I've been trying to get that. This is one way to keep it from one party making an outrageous increase, like a Pennsylvania or like Virginia's looking now, 17 to 28 cents a gallon. Do it this way, the end of discussion, it's over. I mean, we're the 23rd most populated state, 25th. It puts that to bed, so instead of spending all their time arguing about that, they can actually get the work done, and thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. It was. Yep. That was a good point, Commissioner Burrell.
And Madam Chair and Commissioner Potter, thank you. The other thing that I think it does too, it removes that from the discussion, but it also, what they were proposing before, took like the automotive sales tax away, and then they're increasing the gas tax
Right.
huge, and it really did not go, the gas tax, yes, went toward transportation, but when you take away the automotive sales tax, it wasn't a net loser, but it wasn't as big of a gainer as you would think, getting 20 cents. This way, if we just went to the national average, tax would go up 4 or 5 cents, I think it was 2 to 3 even, and it all would go toward transportation,
Right.
so.
Yep.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So, thank you.
And that's where Commissioner Burrell's got it right. That's constitutionally dedicated to roads and bridges, can't be used for anything else. That's the beauty of that one.
Yes.
That's basically the saving grace of that program. The other thing is, last year when the Governor Walz had proposed 20-cent a gallon gas tax, and I've told everybody here and all over, it was a red herring. He wanted health care and education. He really didn't care about transportation. He was giving you 20 over the period of a couple of years, but he's taking away 14 cents. And you might get to that last 6 cents if the legislature kept going forward with a couple of things, but it really was 2 steps backward, 1 step forward. It really wasn't doing anything, and it was, like I said, I've been quoted before, it was a red herring. It had nothing to do with any reality, because the governor knew that wasn't going to get even a hearing in the Senate. It went through the House like crazy. I mean, it was no problem there, but it didn't even get a hearing in the Senate, which is, if it doesn't even get a hearing, it's not going anywhere.
True.
Madam
Right.
Chair, I
Yes,
just wanted to
Commissioner
state that I think we've finally honed our skills, and we hosted one of the best legislative meetings. I felt like walked out of there knowing a lot better what I can do to help them, and vice versa. I feel like we had some of the best conversation we've collectively out of all the years in this one last meeting, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And the other thing is I do want to say is I want to thank staff, came out there and did some great work on the state vehicle testing, and I would put that on an item for more discussion to bring back that information at the workshop next week. Just kind of giving everybody a better scope of that issue and what potential remedies may be out there.
Yep. Thank you. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. All right. Adopt resolution for federal recreational trail grant application. So we have before us, would anyone like to read this resolution?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I don't know if we need to read the resolution, but it's, we're asking to adopt a resolution related to the federal recreational trail grant application through the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources for possible purchase of trail maintenance and grooming equipment. So, and it's just for the amount of $60,000 to help us purchase some newer equipment for the parks and trail systems, and it's local cash matching
Yeah.
required. And that, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Delyden. Is that
Second.
Commissioner Burrell? All right, seconded by Commissioner Burrell. And just to let the public know that the county has secured $60,000 in local cash matching funds appropriated in the 2021 General Revenue Fund in the Parks and Recreation operational budget. All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, resolution, Commissioner Burrell.
Aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimously. All right, thank you. Oh, the second one, adopt a resolution authorizing signatures on revised Central Minnesota Emergency Medical Services Joint Powers Agreement. Essentially, this is before us because Sherburne County has left the Central Minnesota Central Minnesota Emergency Medical Services, and so we needed to redraft the agreement, and that is what we have before us.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution for authorizing signatures on the revised Central Minnesota Emergency Medical Service Joint Powers Agreement.
All right.
I'll second.
Motion made by, excuse me, Commissioner Vetch, seconded by Commissioner Delight. And is there any discussion on this? Commissioner Burrell?
Madam Chair, and I don't understand why they did that, but they also were removed from the Emergency Services Board, too. Did they join up with Metro?
Yes,
Is that what it
yes,
was?
they felt they were more aligned with the metro than they are with the rural, so.
Yeah, I know that's the same thing there.
Commissioner Delight?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. I was curious on why Sherburne County had pulled from it.
Yes, so,
I'd be
yeah.
curious to find out in a year or so if they find that it was beneficial to them.
Actually, they haven't really been with us for a year, so we'll see how they've done. So this was kind of a housekeeping thing at this point, but,
Fair enough.
Oh, so they've been gone for a year then already. Well, I'll have to ask them the next time I see somebody over there.
it needs to, yeah, to go through all the county attorney's offices, it just took a bit to get through everything, so,
Who
yeah.
was on the board from Elk River, or from Sherburne?
Roland?
No, I'm blanking out her name.
Barb?
No.
Lisa?
Felix? Barb?
It was Barb.
She's gone through the whole list.
No, I have to think of all the
Dolan?
different boards I'm on with these people to remember. Yeah, it wasn't Lisa, it was Barb.
Barb.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was a nurse.
Yeah, Lisa, we're on with Central Minnesota Mental Health, so, right, all right.
All right.
So, any other discussion, questions? Resolution, Commissioner Vetch?
Aye.
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 All right, resolution passes. Okay. So now, we will schedule a committee of the whole for the Ellers presentation. Administrator Kelly.
Sure. This is a presentation that I've wanted to have Ellers come in and just give us kind of a high-level overview of what each of these acronyms, EDA, HRA, CDA, are, and their potential functions and use, and have the opportunity to ask questions. We had initially thought about doing this at the upcoming workshop. However, I think we want to have ample time if there are questions, as well as I know there's a conference that's conflict for some staff too that would be good to be there. So reach out to Ellers, have the following dates that they are available. If possible, I think it would be good to do this before March if we could. So I've listed a few of those there on the board action, either the 18th following the board meeting, the morning of the 19th, the afternoon of the 24th, or following the board meeting on the 25th. I know there are some board-related committee meetings or other events that you'll be here for, so that's why I kind of targeted those times, so.
I don't know, the 18th, we don't have anything scheduled for yet, do we?
There's nothing after the board meeting. There is the Tactical Center owners at 1 p.m. that day.
So we
On the
could do
17th.
18.
The 18th.
18th.
Or,
The 17th, they were closed.
wait, I thought you said March.
No, February.
February.
Once it
Do you guys want to go
Can't
like
hear,
at
I guess.
10:30 on the 18th?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
The 18th would be fine. We have Wright County Area Transportation Committee at 2, right, Derek? Is that 2?
Yes, yep,
It's
yep.
at 2, but so we
It's at
could do
2,
it after
yep.
the board meeting just fine on that Tuesday.
Yep.
Because Wednesday would be out of the question for me. So many things going on that day.
Yeah. All right. Does anyone else have any conflicts for Commissioner Burrell?
I was trying to get my point across a few minutes ago. Nobody recognized me. They were all talking without being recognized. Anyway, it's okay to schedule it whenever. I'm going to be gone the week of the 24th, so, but I'm okay if I miss.
24th.
And the 19th, Mike, you said doesn't work for you.
It's a busy day with,
It is a busy day, so yeah.
yeah.
Does the 18th work for you?
The 18th does, yeah.
After the board meeting?
18th after the board meeting works, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we set a committee of the whole for the 18th after the board meeting, so say about 10:30.
Second.
That's good.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Lyden, seconded by Commissioner Potter. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. All right, Advisory Committee, Advisory Board updates. Administrator Kelly, would you like to start today, or?
Sure.
All right.
I'd love to. So a lot of things going on since the last meeting. 29th, I had the opportunity to go with Commissioner Vetch to meet with representatives of the XL power plant. It was a good meeting to discuss kind of what's going on with their facility. Talked about potentially doing a tour there to see the operations at some point in the future, so that was a good meeting. The 31st, I know a number of the board also attended the Wright County Economic Development Partnership Annual Meeting, which I thought was a great meeting. It's my understanding that was the largest turnout they've had. I thought it was a really good session with Speaker Ross Bernstein presenting. So that was a good event. Lots of faces I know and got to meet a lot of new folks too. I should note we are kicking off the HCM portion, the Human Capital Management portion of ERP later this week. So that'll be going on. The heavy business process analysis section will start the following week, so that'll be taking a lot of the HR staff time. And then we'll move into payroll and other pieces too. So moving forward, I've had some additional discussion with the City of Buffalo. They're doing an updated downtown plan, just starting on that. So we'll be getting them some additional documents and working on how that plan will relate to our site here downtown. I don't want to steal Bob's thunder, but I know we were awarded from the Government Finance Officers Association. I got a letter yesterday that we received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Reporting for our 2018 report.
Great.
So,
Lindsay's not here, but Lindsay was instrumental in keeping that award going.
sure. So, that's my update.
All right.
Thanks.
Commissioner Lyden.
I don't really have anything.
Madam Chair. Well, I actually
Commissioner
just
Burrell.
wanted to comment on Lee's,
Yep.
if I could. I don't know if Commissioner Potter would be offended by this if I make it public, but he is very generous in making a $500 donation in order to retain the speaker that we had, Ross Bernstein, and he kind of shamed in some of the other businesses to make sure that they contributed. So I just wanted to personally thank you, Mike. I hope that's not, I'm not offending you by making that public, but it was a very generous donation.
Yes, yes, it was, and I think we should.
Should embarrass him.
Madam Chair,
Because I'm not sure his wife knows about it.
and Madam Chair,
Yes.
if any of board members are interested in getting a tour through the plant in Monticello, they did open it up to others of you. They are running some periodic ones. They don't do them quite frequently, but because there's an extensive background check stuff that has to go through to do it. But if you haven't gone through it, quite an interesting tour. It's worth seeing and understanding what's in our backyard. It's pretty amazing.
They did one a number of years ago, and it's, well, I don't know how many years ago it was, but were you all part of that? Okay,
No, Madam Chair, I would
yes,
like to be part of that because
I would too.
town's downwind from that, so I think, you know.
I'll get you connected up, so.
Yeah, I'll try and coordinate a date. They had proposed one for next
Yeah,
week.
that'd be
That's not
great.
going to work, so
So,
hopefully we can get one for the full board.
full board, yeah.
Commissioner Lyden, you didn't have anything? You
April-ish.
didn't have anything? Okay, Commissioner Potter?
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, again, getting back to the Economic Development Partnership, I put the money in because I wanted to secure this person because he has a busy schedule and he needed an answer that same day. And by putting the money out up front, we had 3/4 of it when we had to make a commitment. Because getting a dynamic speaker, that's why we had the turnout we did.
Oh, exactly.
You know, and I want to thank Wright County, the commissioners and the administrator for being there, because a strong showing by us is what these businesses like to see. Because they were, it mentioned that they were, a strong showing here was really good. Hopefully you bring more awareness. We do have a few more people that are considering joining, hopefully the application in there, because you're
yeah.
trying to keep a lot of businesses in there, because there's a benefit to keeping this going. And the other item up here, Madam Chair, is Highway 55, tomorrow at noon. Same time, about the same time that new Met Council Board Chair Charles Zelli will be addressing the House. I'll be talking with him on Highway 55 on the bonding proposal for $5 million for preliminary, final design, right-of-way, and all the costs associated to get that so it's shovel-ready. Because Commissioner Zelli, when he used to be Transportation Commissioner, he runs things a little different than the new one, Margaret Anderson Kelleher. Margaret likes studies after studies. Had enough studies, but she wants one more, so we'll do one more. And trying to get this project, that part from Arrowhead to Loretto, from 2-lane to 4-lane, get that ready, so in case our congressional delegation actually gets an infrastructure package done, Congress, we're ready to access some of that money. Again, the frustration is you go out to the feds, and Minnesota has not been getting their fair share of the federal money we pay in,
Right.
and just keep knocking at that door, trying to see if we can actually get something brought back here, instead of us just paying in all the time. We actually get a project or two here. And that's all I have.
All right. Yeah, just to echo comments about the economic development meeting, they also had the presentation of their officers and with their awards ceremony to recognize the outstanding citizens of Wright County, Lynn and Dale Gronke, who is the mayor, excuse me, of Delano, but they've also done a lot in that town with development. And outstanding member investor was Kelly Hinnenkamp, who is the administrator in Annandale, and she's started really the CEO program among the students in Wright County. And outstanding startup entrepreneur, What's the Scoop, right here in Buffalo. And the High Economic Vitality Business of the Year, Industrial Louvers. So, and then of course they gave the special capstone award to Dwayne Northagen for his service in the partnership, for his leadership, and he's done a lot in the last 6 years. Just a couple of things these are outside of advisory committee, but Cassia is now the parent, company, I guess, of Lake Ridge and Parkview. They have joined the Cassia's Augustana and Elam affiliation. So we had a little presentation, actually this is at Rotary, and Lake Ridge and Parkview, there's I think like 380 nursing homes in the state of Minnesota, and there's about 10 that get a 5-star rating, and both the facilities have gotten those 5-star ratings, and they're constantly looking at, it's a continual process, so it's not something that happens like once a year, so it's kind of a continual process, but they've maintained, very, very high standards, and so it's great to know that we've got that kind of quality care here locally. Also, Kites on Ice, this is just a shout out for Kites on Ice on Buffalo Lake on Saturday, and it'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The kids can come out, we'll give them kite building kits, and they can join the troops, and also they'll be doing some dog sled rides, the cornhole tournaments, also known as beanbag, and the family activities, food, so come out and have fun, bring the kids. Mr. Vetch.
Well, all the ones you guys have already covered, all the things. A lot of us were at the same place, so I guess I will forego any more comments since it's already been pretty well.
Commissioner Potter.
Another comment for Commissioner Vetch. Did you do the polar plunge?
I did not. Unfortunately, too many things on that Saturday morning, and I didn't have enough people to get my kids to all the places they needed to be, and it was just not going to happen this year.
To the world.
I've got multiple jumps under my belt, so I'd say it's definitely not fear.
Well, I watched him do it last time, so yeah, it was pretty brave to jump into that lake.
I was waiting for Auditor Treasurer Bob Hevola to come and jump with me, and he,
He dived, he was on backwards.
Awesome.
There-
Maybe
there's-
next year.
There still is the opportunity next month, the actual polar plunge that benefits the, the Olympics.
Special Olympics.
Yeah, Special Olympics, so that's something that we can do in Buffalo Lake. But Commissioner Burrell?
Met with the Fair Board last night, and everyone get on your calendars. The Wright County Fair is going to be July 22nd to July 26th of this year. And some of this, of course, is our 150th anniversary to the Wright County Fair. They are doing just more and more special things coming up all the time. So last night they voted that they're going to have a 5K run on the fairgrounds as well, and it's going to be authorized, and I do not know, I'm not a runner, but there's like Gold Star or something, I can't remember what it is. It's something that a lot of these 5Ks are like sanctioned under, so it's going to be a sanctioned run so that everybody, they get credit apparently for everyone that they race in and
nice.
whatever, so I did not know things about that, but that and just looking at just newer things all the time. I'm pretty sure they're going to be having like a all-star professional wrestling meet up there on Thursday night too. It was approved in concept, so we'll have to see how they can if they can get it worked out. So, but the group is just coming up with a lot of different ideas for the 150th. So I just said keep it
Yeah,
coming.
it'll be
So,
fun.
but so everybody, I think you want to make sure that we're not going to get anybody to get shot out of a cannon. It sounds like yet, but
Where's Nick Sutton?
Steele County, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Attorney Kreiser has a video clip of it. It's pretty kind of cool. But anyway, so, no, but I'm really proud of them. I kind of challenged them. I said, let's do some special
Oh, yeah.
things for the 150th, and they're taking it up on it.
That's
So
cool.
that's all I
Well,
had, man.
with the 5K, depending on your age group, you can have a pretty good chance of winning. Remember Ross Bernstein, one of the comments that he made in his talk last Friday was that the 106-year-old, was it skier? Wasn't he a skier, or what was he? Yeah, skier, and he always wins in his age group, because, I mean, like, who else is 106 that competes? So maybe I have a chance at the 5K, I don't know, in my age group. Maybe not.
So,
All right.
Madam
Yes.
Chair, Charlie, why don't you want to get shot out of a cannon?
I don't know. I'd be afraid where I land. Where would they aim?
I would be least afraid of where I would land. It would be more the getting shot out that would concern me, so.
Charlie.
I could see Commissioner Delighten go up at the last minute. Now, let me just tweak that a little bit.
Yeah.
Charlie, you don't have to worry about getting hurt being shot out of a cannon. It's when you land that you have to
I
worry
don't
about.
know.
Or if you land.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. All right, anything else
That's all I
before the
had.
board? All right. Nothing else, so we are adjourned at 9:31. Thank you.